Hey, how you doing? We're back again. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite songs. Okay. Today we're going to be talking about driving. We're having a problem here, especially in the state of California. And it kind of goes back to part of the issues that are going on. But let's take California, for instance, where I live. Okay, in California we have mass amounts of freeways. And what has happened is the fact that now that we have all these people from, literally everywhere, all over the world, they all think that at some point or another they can do what they want to on the freeway. I've actually seen people, sit in the fast lane, which to all of us Americans is the far left lane. Okay, when you're going down the freeway, far left lane over there, I don't even want to call it a number because most of you start counting from over there. Some of you count from over here, but it doesn't matter. The issue is that lane over there, if you can't do 70 or 80 miles an hour in that lane, you really shouldn't be in the lane. Why? Well, for number one, 70 miles an hour is the normal speed limit in the state of California, and that is the fast lane. Listen, old people. Listen, foreigners. Listen to you people think that you have the right to impede traffic, because what I'm going to do is go after the state. You see, because there's a sign that says in the state of California, when you get on this freeway, slower traffic stays to the right. That doesn't mean the left. It says slower traffic. That means if you can't maintain the speed limit, why are you in that lane? Why? So, the first step we got to do is educate people that are coming here. And see, this is the Department of Corrections problem, because they do mass things. I've actually seen people come in that don't speak any English at all, come in and use an interpreter to take the test. Is this madness? I believe so. Because how is it you can actually, and see, this goes to the illegal thing again, because all of these people are coming here, they don't want to speak English, they don't want to be Americans. Me, I got no choice. Okay? Even my parents said, we really should be out of here. There's no way this is going to work out in our best interest. And now that the state of California is favoring criminals, illegal people, yeah, I'd say she was right. Time to leave, because it's going to turn back into Mexico. Because the minute you start going towards the illegal end, then why did you arrest all of us black people? Really? Why'd you arrest all of us if you're going to sit here and harbor a bunch of illegal? Every black person in the state of California should be suing right now. Especially if you've been in jail for any crime. It doesn't make any difference, next to murder maybe, because they're letting these murderers out. Didn't Trump say that someone was going to... Let me give you an example. Driving. We're back here to the driving thing. I have glaucoma right now because of an illegal alien. This person is hiding. He's using another Mexican's car to drive, and then he runs me over in the street, bounced me out in the street. Somebody said I was in there at least 20 feet in the air. I'm riding my bike, trying to catch the light in the crosswalk. Bam! Boom. I land right here. Bam! I wake up with a cop going, "Hey, are you okay?" "No, I'm not, asshole. I'm sitting here in a pool of my own blood. Where's the fool that hit me?" "Oh, we got him. I found out later they turned that fool over." But here I am with glaucoma. My bike, I've seen better scrap metal. Okay? I don't get any of that back. I even got to pay for the ambulance. And then on top of that, I'm going to go blind because of this guy. Illegal. So I go to the police, and the police tell me, oh, there's nothing we can do about it. What do you mean? You let the guy go. There's a hit and run issue here. You see, and this is what I'm saying, especially when it comes to the black community. Because if one of these Mexicans run us over, the police system and the state of California will automatically side with them and put the nigger in jail or make you pay the fine. I got this shirt a long time ago. And by any means necessary, if you're going to favor the Mexicans, I want my money back. So, in the meantime, these people are not coming here to be Americans. They don't want to drive the way we have designed our freeways to be. Because if you don't get out of the way, my understanding is emergency vehicles on this side, on the left-hand side, can't get by. So don't think that for some reason you're going to teach the guy behind you a lesson by slowing down. Or that you have the right to do 45 miles an hour. Listen, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen right now. And this is the bad business of it. You're about to get Mad Maxed. Yeah. Your tires, your window. Oh, it's going to pay because now they're shooting people out on the freeway. Why? Because everybody's upset. Everybody's pissed. And now we have these foreigners coming in here thinking that, oh my God, I'm not going to do 70 miles an hour in that lane. That's too fast. You better get your ass over there on the right-hand side in the very last lane, which I would have to say very comfortingly call it the sheep lane. Why? These are where all the slow people are. And I've seen it. I've been in people's cars so many times that it's pathetic. And me, they'll sit in that lane and complain. And they drive in that lane for miles, not knowing that, wait a minute, there's room over there in that left-hand side. There's actually some people that are actually going fast. And they're keeping that lane moving simply because that lane means I can go quicker and I have a long way to go. I'm not going to be going into the sheep lane, which is the far right lane, the one that you come into immediately when you merge onto the freeway. This is for exiting and entering. Okay? See now, California, we got 6 lanes. I think the only freeway I've ever seen that's any larger is over in Houston. Oh my God, it had to be like 8 lanes on both sides, and the history on that freeway is just monstrous, man. I think they've been building it since Texas became a state. But in the meantime, the issue that we look at this point is the fact that in this state, we keep having people complain about the roads. Okay, there's some of them that are bad, but we still have the best system in the world. When I was in the Navy, I was somewhere in Spain, and this one girl, we were at some club, and we were partying and everything, and I had this shirt on that said California on it. God, I wish I still had that shirt. But she asked me if the streets were paved of gold. I laughed, and I said, no, not really. It's just really some of the high-grade asphalt. It shimmers and glimmers, and it looks like this and that. Best freeways in the world. Yeah, we got them. But the problem is it's the people. And the problem is the state of California. Because they do not instruct the CHP. Because again, this is where the racial issue comes in. A long time ago, my dad got a ticket for going too slow. This was one of my dad's normal problems. Because my dad, he wasn't really much of an ambitious person. But driving, oh my God, nobody wanted to drive with this guy. It was like, oh my God, it'll be hours and days. But lucky back then, we could drive in the back. Like my mom had a station wagon, and my dad had a truck, and a couple of different trucks and stuff like that. But it depended on who did what, when, where. We took one of the trucks out to the farm all the time, and then the other one was the one that we drove because it was luxury, it was a little bigger. But Pops was slow no matter what. It didn't make any difference. He was always slow. Slow. But the funny part about it was my dad always stayed to the right-hand side. But this time he was going so slow that the cop, I guess, it was kind of funny to me that they stopped him, but they didn't stop the rest of the slow people. And then I realized, they're white people or Mexicans. And, this all boils down to the same thing, that, whether you're driving or whether it's a racial issue or whether it's an economic issue or whether it's a political issue, this is a black and white thing. So, me as a black man is going to tell you, anybody, if you have a problem with this driving thing, you need to start looking at the DMV. Because look what happens. The DMV is the one that actually gives these people licenses from a collective point of view. Now, for us, that's like, wait a minute, that's not right. Why are you trying to suck up so much of this illegal money that you put my life in danger? Because when these people get behind the wheel, half of them can't even see over the windshield or the steering wheel. They're only like 4 foot something. And these are these people that are driving these fucking SUVs, man. Come on, man, you're 4'5". I don't really care what the symbolism is. I don't really care how safe you feel. But see, you actually create more of a problem when you have to use a pillow or a stick or something to put over there so you can push on the pedal or the brake. Then what happens when your foot slips off? But then again, that's why insurance is here. And even if you look at the insurance companies, if the insurance companies are treating you, and especially the black people, as people that have higher insurance rates, you need to check it out. Why? Because the Asians don't have no higher insurance rate, but yet they're the ones that are getting people in trouble. They don't know how to drive worth a damn. And then we'll look at you like you did something wrong. Don't tell me it ain't happened. Okay, here we go. Now, the issue that does happen specifically with, especially the older people that drive, because you got a lot of old people now, and they're disoriented, but yet the DMV still gives them a license. Now, if I were you, and there was automatically somebody that was old, they ran into you or a building or something, I don't know how many times I've seen these old people trying to do new drive-thrus, okay, through the front door. I mean, it happens all the time now. But the issue is the DMV. Your Department of Motor Vehicles is the problem. Okay? It is definitely the problem. So at some point, you have to look at it and say, well, wait a minute. How am I going to get this done? It's a matter of saying, well, once it's just like me. When the dude hit me, I tried to go after the person that lent him the car. But the police and even the DMV, they said, well, you can't do anything because he wasn't the person that did it. Yeah, but they allowed it to happen. So at some point I used the issue of, okay, then you're complicit in the crime. Oh, well, that's not really the same. And I knew that was wrong because I went to prison for being complicit in a crime. I don't care how many kilos it was. You didn't catch me with it, but I was there. And see, this again creates the situation where I feel that the discrimination is not only part of this system, it's part of the culture. It's just like right now. Okay, we're driving. I have literally seen, without a doubt, especially in Northern California when I used to work over in this place called Healdsburg, I would be driving down the street and all of a sudden I'd want to pass somebody. The white boy wants to speed up now. Oh, I'm not going to let that nigger pass me. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no, I'm not going to let this happen. He speeds up. But you don't understand. I have super sports. I've had a super sport since the very first car I've ever owned. That means 396 and above. And I started it, well, that was my car. That was my car. My first car was at 16. 396 and above, homie. Do you know how fast that car would go? Ha! Forget it. I started driving when I was 10. Like I said, in the truck, out in the field. I never hit no tree. My daughter hit a building or something, but she wasn't out of the farm. But in the meantime, driving. People keep thinking we need new freeways. Stop spending my money. Teach these people how to drive and get the DMV under control and stop giving licenses to every fucking person that walks in there with $60 and has an interpreter. I think that's kind of a detriment to the public if the state decides to give somebody a license that doesn't even speak English. I haven't seen it. Now, the only time I've seen a sign in Spanish in the United States was down in Nogales. You know, down there in the Imperial Valley, it's like Mexville. Nothing but Mexicans. I don't even think black people live there. Okay? That's how bad it is. So, you got to look at this and say, okay, how is this going to work out for the average person? So, not to get into it too much, but you know, the responsibility for the car, license, and driver are finally with the Department of Motor Vehicles. If you come up short at any point, whether that's insurance or the person that owned the car or anything else, go to the DMV. If that person has a license, go to the DMV. Tell them, you did this. You let these people drive. It's your responsibility to clean up their mess. Because good and well, you know they'll do it. You look at these tickets. If you notice now, these tickets, if you don't pay your ticket on the 31st day, your stuff is doubled. Now, it's $700, $500. Geez, man, that's like my rent for a whole month. But you got to have that money. But yet, you won't go after the illegals. See, this is where the discrimination and the uneven procedure of a government facility, especially the state of California. My master said, get them. You cannot, okay? You cannot and will not be open in your, what do they call, respect of person issues. So let's use that as a freeway to an exit. I call it Exodus. But listen, a state that won't teach its people and allow people to circumvent the policies, because I guarantee you when they started doing those collective driver's license things, I bet you them people didn't have the hours necessary to drive. See, and I'll bet you that all of them didn't take a driving test. I'll bet you money. I'd win. Because I see the greed of the state alone, that they will accept anybody's money no matter what and let the public deal with the consequences. That's exactly what they do. So, let's not spend no more money on a freeway. Why? What for? What's spending money on a freeway for? Spending money on a freeway for people that ain't going to learn how to drive and don't want to speak English? Oh my God. A couple of days, these Arabs, you should have seen them riding around their little putty putts in these little noisy little cars. And these guys just are having the best time in the world. You think they do that in their own country? No. So, I'm communicating to you that DMV's your end game on this. Break them down. Because right now I'm going on this crusade to, rip my state apart. It's no sense in living here anymore. Because I'm not going to sit in a place that's actually going to harbor illegals, criminals. Because when you're illegal, you're a criminal. Because Canada wouldn't even let me across the border because I had a felony. I'm supposed to be nice now and allow the government to make me pay for people that are here illegally? Who's going to feed them? Who's going to house them? Who's going to pay for their children? But yet they're driving. They're creating problems for me. And there's how many others that are creating this problem? So, hey, again, shout out to you guys. Hey, thanks for watching. It ain't going to be on you. Because the minute you recognize and you hear this type of communication, you have to say to yourself, well, wait a minute. He may have a point there. This is the reason why I'm only doing this, simply because it makes me feel good. And I believe it'll help you. So if we can communicate, let's communicate. Right now, time's up. Thank you. God bless. My master loves you. And I'll see you guys next time.